Alright YouTube, what's happening? We got a new knife today in the mail, and this is it right here. It's brand new from Civivi, which is, hopefully I'm saying that right. Get some more light on in here. That is Wii's new budget line, budget brand. So, look at this packaging though, man. You get a nice, typical cardboard box. This is the 801C Baklash. A nice box. It also comes in a pouch though. So that's something usually you're going to find on more expensive knives. And a cleaning cloth and a Civivi brand little thing here. Read this before opening the knife. Congratulations on purchasing a knife made by Wii Knife Company. Yeah, some instructions in case you don't know how to use a knife, which is weird. And some maintenance, so pretty cool. So this is Wii's new budget line, similar to how Kaiser has the Tangram line, which I think is the best budget line out right now. Just sharpened recently on this thing and it's gotten kind of dirty. Need to clean it. But this is the Baklash, and now I picked this one. I think it was the smaller of the three. There was 3 different models. They're all pretty similar in size, but I think this one had the smallest dimensions of the 3. So this one has an overall length of 8.1 inches with a blade of 3.5 inches. Cutting edge 3.125 because of that choil. Your thickness is 0.12, so it's a very thin blade stock. 9 CR18 MOV, which we'll get to in a second. Rockwell is 58 to 60 on that. You have a drop point blade, nice hollow grind on this with satin finish. Really, really pretty, really nicely done satin finish, almost a mirror. Your handle length is 4.6 inches total, and your width is 0.875 and just over a ½ inch thick this way. And this one is the black G10, also comes in OD green and tan. This knife reminds me, just right off the bat, of the Wii Praktic so much. It's like, whoa, this is essentially the Praktic with a little less steel, lesser steel than M390. So, price point, $42.50. Across the board, that's where you're going to find them for, $42. So it's a little less than, well, it's right about the same as the Tangram line, actually, right around the same. So under $50, good stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the materials. G10 handles, which are really, really nicely done. Bearing flipper, very, very smooth, as you'll see here as I disengage that lock. Very nice detent, just a great flipper. You have stainless steel liners that are skeletonized on both sides, and they are anodized blue, which is nice. A really nice looking color on that with that black, really kind of pops. I like that extra bit of color on there. You have a stainless steel deep carry pocket clip, lanyard hole. The clip is left or right hand carry, not just one way, which is nice. And you have a nice attractive pivot with the Civivi logo there. So very nice looking knife for the money, under $50. The other material here, 9 CR18 MOV, not to be confused with 8 CR13. It is more in line in its composition and such as 440C. Let's see here, where'd my little knife app go? I looked it up on my knife steel chart. Where did it go? And it disappeared. We're going to have to find it again. 9 CR18. So you have a carbon content of between 9.96 and 1.2. Believe vanadium is 0.12, chromium 16 to 18, and then it has a bunch of other nitrogen, a bunch of other stuff in it. But the composition itself is closest to 440C. So that's pretty much what it compares to. Now, Stasa23, if you don't subscribe to his channel, you should, did a cut test on this with some compared to Spyderco's VG10, and it performed very similarly to VG10. Spyderco runs, I think their VG10 a little soft compared to like Kaiser and a few other companies. The 440 Akuto is also very similarly performed to that, and that is what the Tangram line uses. And this is a good time for a size comparison. This is the Santa Fe. I've got the LA Police Gear S35 knife out here, and another budget favorite, the Kershaw Natrix carbon fiber in 8 CR13. So that's kind of a size, just so you know what the size is compared to other knives. I'm going to leave that Tangram out here because, in my opinion, this is the biggest competition that Tangram has had. They kind of I know a lot of knife nuts agree that it had the kind of the best budget line out there for the last little while. So I think we, being another major Chinese manufacturer, went after that and said, you know what, Tangram is doing really well with their line of knives. They have better steel than most of your knives in this price range. I mean, this knife, this is $25 though. I mean, this is still hard to beat because it's $25. And it's got similar, I mean, G10 stainless steel liners, skeletonized deep carry clip, very, very similar steel, similarly ground. I mean, just the only difference is the flipper versus the thumb stud, really. So you're paying a lot less for the Tangram, but the quality on this Wii is top notch. It's crazy good. Let's look at one thing that Stas said in his video on the Navaja, I think it's called. I'll have to double check that. Is how thinly ground these blades are. Now the blade stock's already thick, or thin, excuse me. But he was saying he was getting ridiculously thin measurements behind the edge. I got 0.018. He was saying 0.14, which I don't I don't doubt that it's that, but it's always such a tough measurement. Oh, that's actually right on the edge. I'm getting 0.175, 0.0175, excuse me. So less than 20 thousandths is crazy thin. That is a slicing machine. So that I really, really like. Again, I really like that satin finish on the blade too. That's just really good, attractive. Pocket clip is deep carry. Let's see how it would carry in the pants. Pretty deep, I'm guessing. Hence the, yeah, very deep. Kind of a longer pocket clip, but it works great. It's deep carry. It's also skeletonized, save a little bit of weight. Speaking of weight, what do these guys weigh? Before I get on my scale, let's take a gander. Let's take a guess, actually. I'm thinking right under 4 ounces. Let's see. Feels right around 4, maybe a little less than 4 ounces. Well, that's not right. That's exactly 3. This is such a whack scale. 3.9. 3.8, 3.9, right in between there. So pretty good, right under 4 ounces. So lightweight for its size. You got a 3.5-inch blade. You have a nice choil up here, which can be a finger choil if you have fingers similar in size to mine, thickness. If you got really beefy sausage fingers, that's more of just a sharpening choil for you. You have some nice jimping right here. You have a nice ramp that they've kind of put in there, and that jimping works really well. So if you're doing some push cuts and such, it's going to work well as well as fine detail if you choke up. And jimping's not overdone, very nicely done. Fit and finish is freaking really good for $42. I tell you, some of the knives coming out these days, $42 back in the day to get you some cheapy, crappy knife, and now it's like you can get all these nicer materials, nice fit and finish for under $50. It's pretty crazy, the world we live in today of knives. So yeah, my first impressions of the new Civivi line from Wii Knives is really, really good. I think the Tangram has a serious competitor on their hands here with the Wii. In fact, I would even say that the G10 on this model is a little nicer than on the Santa Fe. The Santa Fe kind of has just a pretty generic pattern on there. You've actually got some contouring and such on the Wii, which is usually a little bit extra you're going to pay for. I mean, granted, this is a $25 knife versus a $42 knife, but it's under $50. It's in the same range. Like the deep carry clip. The one thing I'm not a fan of is how much this aligner extends past the G10 scale there. They do that so it's easier to disengage lock, but it kind of sticks up right there. So when you have the knife right here in your hand, it doesn't create a hot spot by any means, but you kind of feel it there. So it could create a hot. I doubt it would though. Yeah, I really like this, man. I ordered this from Knife Center, $42.50. You can find them on Blade HQ. I got here really fast from Knife Center though, considering they're in Virginia. So just saying, Blade HQ. But yeah, the Tangram line has a stiff competitor, and it'll be interesting to see what else comes out. And you know, the steel should perform just as good as 440C. Like I said, Stas even said it performed as well as VG10. So Be curious if Cedric Caneda wants to do a rope cup test on this. I did a couple of those, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna leave that to him. That's a lot of work, a lot of time, and it's really. And he even said it's hard on your hand and your muscles and stuff. So, but yeah, I think they've got a winner here. I like this guy a lot. $42, can't go wrong. Nice bearing flipper. Really ground, really thin. That hollow grind. It should be just a fantastic slicer. It came razor sharp out of the box. I'm trying to find something I haven't cut up. I just did some sharpening, so I was testing edges. I don't have a lot here, but that's like magazine paper, and it just is gliding. It's not a very big piece, though. Through it. This is all like crumpled up, or I would use this. But it came super sharp out of the box, so this is all like crumpled. Oh yeah, look at that. Even with all these crumples, and it still slices just right through it. So nice and sharp, and should be a fantastic slicer. So good jobs, Wee Knives. Way to go. Way to step up your budget game, because that is definitely a good competition to the Tangram series of knives. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.